Hello and welcome. This is Gist Nigeria. Coming up on the program, clipped wings. We torchlight issues holding down Nigeria's aviation sector. Also, wellness. Experts offers useful tips on handling mental health in youngsters. Plus, turning the tide. Doctoral students seek to digitize vulnerable architectural and planning records in Ghana. And
my name is Eno Umo. Check me out.
The Nigerian social entrepreneur promoting STEM-based education around the world. It's great to have you here again on Gist Nigeria from the BBC and Channels Television. And here on the program, we follow conversations on social media and help you make sense of them all. I am Wali Fakile. Let's start with our lead story. If not for last-minute government intervention, the Nigerian airspace would have experienced an unusual quiet this week. No bird would have flown in its sky, and airports would have been emptied of travelers. Association of Airline Operators had earlier announced that the cost of buying aviation fuel had become too expensive and that they were going to ground operations. Now, what if the airlines had made good on their threats? What impact would it have had on the economy? Why is Nigeria unable to produce aviation fuel locally despite ranking as one of the largest exporters of crude oil in the world? Gist Nigeria's Aneta Felix has been finding out.
Air passengers at the Murtala Mohammed Domestic Airport in Lagos, Nigeria tell me two things. They're stressed and relieved. Stressed over the panic that they were sent into over the weekend when they heard that flight operations will be cancelled nationwide.
We were running helter-skelter, trying to adjust ourselves, and unfortunately, there were no seats. This thing has raised up our blood pressures.
When I heard about the planned strike, I was like panicking, like, oh my God, I already booked tickets for Monday. What will I do? How will I get to my destination?
I was confused. I started thinking of a plan B.
But relieved that it was called off last minute at around 6 p.m. on Sunday, May 8, 2022.
I would have had to use road, and I'm not really good at road trips due to the insecurities in Nigeria and the whole stress.
I felt happy and relieved. It would have been very bad, very bad.
So now Nigerians are free to travel across the country, but only for those who can afford the high cost of air travel at this time.
It's not possible for the poor man even to travel by here now in this country. It's only meant for the middle class and the high class.
In January, I boarded the flight from Lagos to Iyo for about 30-something thousand, but right now I'm paying close to 60.
At the heart of the matter is the rising cost of aviation fuel, also known as Jet A1. This is basically a lighter grade of kerosene and is the fuel that powers airplanes. Aviation experts describe how it's made.
It's made through fractional distillation, and it's a process of, introducing heat or exposing the crude oil itself to heat.
The airline operators of Nigeria say a litre of Jet A1 used to sell at 190 naira, but is now 700 naira. But Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria (MOMAN) argue that the cost could not be more than 580 naira per litre. AON also argues that jet fuel takes up 40% of an airline's operating cost. But the rising price of the commodity now gulps up to 95% of their expenditure.
With the current price of Jet A1, if they buy fuel, nothing is left. There's no money for salaries. And that is why, as I speak to you now, a lot of the airlines have not paid salary for 2-3 months, and it has never ever happened.
So why is the fuel becoming more expensive?
We export crude, and we spend our scarce foreign exchange to buy finished product back into country, and the landing cost is high. The reason why the cost of the products are high in Nigeria.
NNPC has the leverage to buy it at 414, naira, versus the dollar. Whereas none of these other importers are given that kind of advantage. And that's the challenge that we have, is that distortion that NNPC, imposes on the Nigerian economy as a bully.
Nigeria has 5 refineries but imports 100% of its aviation fuel. For a country that's one of the top global oil producers, many experts say this is an anomaly that has gone on for too long.
Despite the fact that Kaduna and Port Harcourt refinery was designed from inception to actually produce Jet A1 aviation kerosene, that's not the case today. Even I think in Port Harcourt, 2 of the refineries at some point were even designed to actually produce Jet A1. Unfortunately, one of the refineries, that part that actually deals with Jet A1 has been vandalized and cannibalized long time ago.
Ground handling companies have also increased charges by 300%, further impacting on the cost of airfares across Nigeria.
The ground handling companies, who is responsible for the payment of their wages? Airlines. So if the cost of my operations all of a sudden has gone 300% on the increase, just from the ground handling services alone, what do I do?
Elsewhere in the aviation sector, workers are on strike over the terms of a renegotiated agreement. They've locked down offices at the airport, forcing workers to stay home.
I appeal to my colleagues in Nuate to reason and call off this strike in the best interest of the nation and our workers. Considering that already efforts have been put in place by all the agencies that are involved in granting of these approvals.
While workers ground activities at the airport, stakeholders met with the House of Representatives on Monday, May 9th to resolve the fuel crisis. Attendees include representatives of the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources, Ministry of Aviation, Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigerian National Petroleum Commission, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Nigerian Airspace Management Authority, among others. Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, secured the commitment of the NNPC to supply 6 million litres of aviation fuel to 10 marketers at a cost of 480 naira per litre for 3 months. Some aviation experts see the deal brokered by the House of Reps as a quick fix and are advocating for long-term solutions.
Invest in refining of the products in Nigeria.
In March 2022, Minister of Aviation Hadi Sirika said Nigeria's local aviation industry has the potential to earn $14.16 billion in revenue and contribute 5% of the gross domestic product yearly. The International Air Transport Association (IATA) also noted that Nigeria's aviation industry is projected to grow by 174% in the next 20 years, support approximately $4.7 billion of GDP, and provide almost 555,700 jobs. But the reality of imported jet fuel and impending strikes make the forecasts seem like sandcastles in the air. Aneta, Felix, Gist, Nigeria.